Hi and Assalamualaikum. I'm Muhammad Shahmi and today I would like to present about my topic, which is the Maximin rule. So in this topic, we will cover about the components, characteristic, definition, and also situation of the topic. So to make it easier for us to understand, the Maximin rule is actually a concept or a principle that we can use to help us to make decision. Let's start this presentation with the definition of the maximum rule, which is it is a decision-making principle that focuses on minimizing potential losses by selecting the option with the best and worst outcome among all available choices. It is a very useful tool for a company or individual to make a decision that is conservative. So here are the most important aspects of the maximum rules, which are the components, characteristics, and also criteria of respective area. So here are the components and criteria of the maximum rule. Number one, it will list all the outcomes and also identify all possible decision outcomes, both positive and negative. Number two is it will analyze worst cases and determine the worst consequence for each option. And the third one is it will help you to minimize losses because it will focus on avoiding the worst case scenario rather than maximizing gains. Number four is it will choose the best and worst outcome because it will select the option with least risk and smallest loss. And number five is it has some risk aversion to it because it will prioritize in minimizing downside risk over potential rewards and it will be useful in high uncertainty. And lastly, it has some broad applicability. It will be useful in economics, business, game theory, and personal decision for evaluating choices under uncertainty. To understand this topic more, we will go through the example or practice of the respective area. So let's take this as a situation. Imagine you are a cafe owner and deciding between two suppliers for a critical component of your product, such as coffee beans. Thomas Coffee & Co., and we call it supplier A, they offer a lower price per unit but has a history of inconsistent quality and delivery delays. But Venus Coffee, supplier B, on the other hand, they offer a higher price but has a reputation for reliability and consistent quality. And this is the right time to use the maximum rule by practicing the components and characteristics. For number one, you need to identify the scenarios. For best case, your coffee bean will be timely delivery of high quality components, but for the worst case, it has some delays and low quality parts. So, and second one, for worst outcome analysis, your supplier A, it will happen frequent delays and low quality components, and it will impact on the production and customer satisfaction. However, supplier B, it has some occasional delays but good quality parts. And number three, it will help you to minimize losses because it will focus on reducing production delays, rework expenses, and customer dissatisfaction. And next, choose the best worst outcome. If you use the maximum rule, you will know that selecting supplier B is the best option. And number five, for risk aversion, if you use the maximum rule concept, it will opt for supplier B because it prioritizes reliability and quality over cost saving. And lastly, applicability. The maximum rule aids in risk reduction and loss assessment in supply chain management, contributing to long-term business success. In conclusion, the maximum rule is a very useful tool for decision making in various areas like economics, business, and personal life. It helps to manage uncertainty and minimize risk by focusing on reducing potential losses and also choosing the option with the best and worst outcome. This systematic approach emphasizes stability and risk management, whether it's deciding on job opportunities, selecting suppliers, or making investments. And also, understanding its principle and practical applications can lead to successful outcomes in uncertain situations.